our next speaker. Since 1991, he has served as the chairman of Advanced Trauma Life Support in Saudi Arabia and is the former executive director of academic affairs at King Abdulaziz Medical City in Riyadh. He was also the first chief of the MENA region for the American College of Surgeons, making significant strides in medical education across the region. He is the founder and CEO of the Academy of Sciences, established in 2019, now a leading medical education provider in the kingdom. A true pioneer, he was the first in Saudi Arabia to develop a virtual reality curriculum for training and certification, including programs for first responders, CPR for the Saudi Heart Association, and innovative courses like Police Investigation VR program and the OSD exam prototype. Today, he will be speaking on artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and the future of nursing education. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Saud Abdulaziz Al Turki.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for the invitation, Mr. Ahmed. And Sharia, thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be here in Dar al-Shifa and talk about the AI and the future of medical education. I'm already enjoying this beautiful presentation with great speakers. And first, I would like to apologize for my voice because I have sinusitis. Doctors did not help me. I think I need the nursing help. This is what I'm saying. I need nursing. And Ms. Sherry, great speech inspired me to maybe simplify after seeing Dr. Ahmed Ferrari card. This is his card. He did not raise his hands, but that's okay. That AI is like a car, where the fuel is the data, and the engine is the computer power. But we need a human to drive it. So the human is the one modifying it, fine-tuning it, and decide the input and output. So I will start in a different way, talking about virtual reality, and I'll come back to that later on. But just to simulate you that virtual reality that actually you cannot appreciate it until you try it, but it is an immersive experience. You go from your current place to another fantastic place where you are using the visuals, you can feel, you can touch, and also you can listen, and sometimes you can add smell. When we do a course on fire, you can add a smell of fire, and all those things stimulate your senses and make the retention rate very high, about 75% compared to a traditional course. Contrary to the belief that if we use technology, it would be costly. Actually, it is much cheaper. It costs almost 40%, even less, if you compare it to a traditional course. Of course, it's a high resolution today, and the time. If you do a CPR course, it takes you 3.5 hours to 4 hours. If you do it virtually, 50 minutes. So you save time, you save cost, and it is fun, and no need to buy equipments, and it is now very available. Actually, the virtual reality, when I enter a new world, I use my visuals, and our brain process visual stimulus 60,000 times more than our audio stimulus. And actually 90%, if I go to a place, the first thing I just look around. So I use my visuals to simulate me. Now, this is a very famous slide. It shows that it took almost like 7 years plus for Google Translate to reach 100 million users. Instagram, about 3 years. ChatGPT, when it was released, it took 2 months to reach 100 million users. Because as a human, if we find something which is useful and help us and make things easier for us, we adapt it immediately. And also, if you will want to look at it from business point of view, in billions, the business is expected to grow next year to huge spikes. Now, I'm sure you heard about artificial intelligence, GBT, generatives, and I will just touch on it very light here. Artificial intelligence is not new. It's been with us since 1960s, 70s, 80s. But what happened? In 2005, we start to learn that if we use computer power and more data and input output, we can have a lot of outcome. And that's why we start to know the face recognition. When we use the mobile, it recognized my face. That was an artificial intelligence. And then we start, as been mentioned, in 2012, to know that actually we can even recognize tumors or use it in ultrasound or the Tesla auto drive. It's all use artificial intelligence. And actually, the Tesla time, the 2012, we discovered that GPU are extremely useful to tool to help us to reach to that level. And then the transformer came. Transformer came only 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and it's really make a major difference in the technology. So generatives, as it's been mentioned, is creation. Okay, I want to say, I want to play, and the computer will tell me tennis, football, so autocomplete. That's a generative. It generates things for us. Okay? And usually we look at numbers. If I want she, he want to go, for example, the parameters say 5 by 8 plus 8, and 8 times 4 plus 4, that's a computer language. It's 99 parameters. I just want you to remember this number because when I say data is a drive for the generative AI, so 99 parameters of this symbol. Imagine I want to read this picture of Alan Turing, who was a very famous in the World War II as a code. He can decode in the war, and he was very helpful. So if I want the computer to recognize his face, what will be the parameters? GPT-3, not ChatGPT. GPT-3 was released in June 2020, and it's based on a company called OpenAI, who took 1 billion from Microsoft because they say, you know, you can recognize tumors, you can recognize things. Why don't we make it powerful? And remember the 99 data? Look at the numbers here. 175 billion parameters in GPT-3, which was released in June 2020. And the training data is 500 billion words, okay? And this is the word came the large language model. And then ChatGPT released to the public as ChatGPT, which is a refined GPT-3 in end of 2020. Actually, people start to know about it in January and February 2023, and where everybody is using it. This is this is GPT-3, okay? 17 billion parameters compared to 99, that one I show you. Look what happens to ChatGPT-4. This is 175 billion. ChatGPT-4 is again more data, more computer power, and that's what makes us surprised. What happens now is that we start to generate videos, we start to generate voice, and actually we start to have things that we did not train the computer to do. And that's what makes people crazy about what is happening in the AI and capability in the AI and what it can come out of that. Now, I'll just take you back to the virtual reality in the education. There is a lot of data in the literature to support that the use of VR can be a replacement to traditional training, not only in education, even in assessment. I can share with you any of those data if you are interested. Okay. Now, the first project we did, and we were very lucky because we were starting playing with the hologram and playing with the virtual reality 5 years ago. And we were very lucky when this move of the AI, we were already there. So we created a program for the Saudi Red Crescent based on what we call it the platinum 10 minutes. When people choke and they have a total airway blockage, we don't have time. 4 to 5 minutes, our brain will be dead. Majority of the people in the scene, they die from bleeding. And if we help to train the public on stop the bleed, we can save lives. A lot of patients, almost 500,000 in the United States, have a cardiac arrest. 80% at home and 20% in public areas. So if we train the publics on a course using VR, that will be helpful. So we created this course. It was our first course, which talk about choking, AED, and CPR, an empty room, no equipment. So he put his headset. He started to choose the language, Arabic, English. We did it also for Urdu. He can choose garden, streets, etc. He can repeat the training. He can do CPR, and the computer can tell you the distance and the speed and will correct you. And if you don't do it correct, it will not consider that. And it was a successful thing. And we trained 5,000 high school students on the first VR course that we created for the Red Crescent. This is the AED. It's beautiful when you try it. Dr. Relina is here with me, and we are very happy to show you, if you are interested, how the VR look like when you do a course. This is Stop the Bleed in a workshop. And it will show you in virtual reality how the Stop the Bleed bag look like. And even the tourniquet in 3D, you can add videos. You can. This is a choking in an infant and choking in children and adults. There will be a dashboard to give you the results before you will be certified. This is a choking in adults in a restaurant. So this is the first course we did, and it encouraged us to move forward. And we today developed the OSCE. We believe we are the first in the world to develop OSCE for training and assessment. And the Saudi Commission already approved us to use it for the exam. And it's fully automated, and you can also have a remote examiner. Let me share with you you can choose whatever scenario you want. We have a sound.
Hello, how are you? How are you? Your name?
I'm feeling a bit anxious. My name is Samuel Thompson.
Why you are here?
Well. I've been having intermittent tests for the past couple of weeks. It's particularly noticeable when I'm climbing stairs or during stressful.
Do you do exercises?
I try to jog twice a week, but with my busy schedule, it can be hard to stay consistent.
Can you stand for me?
Sure.
Go back and sit down.
All right.
Can you raise your hands?
Of course.
Okay, we'll do some investigations, and I would like you in 1 week. I'm going to do some blood work and X-rays for you.
Well. All right. Sounds good. I'll make sure to come back in a week. Thank you.
So you can create any interactive clinical scenarios for your training or even for assessment. Now for nursing, the Saudi Commission has a challenge in doing OSCE for nursing because the place, having an ICU, having a floor, having an examiners. So they give us the central line zeroing, how to zero a central line. And it was a challenge, but we were very happy to develop the whole program. You can see at the beginning, you can clean with hands with alcohol, with gloves. raise the bedside to 45 degrees, all virtual. And then connect the pressure of the IV line. And you can compress to increase the pressure. And then connect your tubing. And then you compress to get rid of the air. And see the water coming down, if you notice. That's all virtual. And connected to the monitor, and then connected to the patient. If the student miss any of those steps, it will can tell you. Now you open it, make the machine 0 to the monitor, and then you open, and then you measure. And then you go to the feet of the patient to record your results on the chart. All virtual, can be done as many times. It's fun. You can create the ICU or any place you want. And in this way, you can train nurses in a lot of complex procedures to know their steps. And it's okay. They are by themselves. They don't feel intimidated. And they can repeat it. It can give you a feedback. And you can master the skills before you apply to the patient. This is the course we built for the Saudi Basic Life Support Saudi Heart. And it's been approved. And Saudi Commission gave it 5 hours. And it will be launched next month for the Saudi population, I mean, healthcare professionals for all the centers. Just to show you how you can build rooms, you can write down Shifa in the back if you like. It's very easy to put names, and you can choose on the practice and guided practice before you do your test, and then the exam, and then you have a dashboard with the results before you certify your students. And we, as mentioned, we built for the Saudi traffic police a course. We also built a scenario for the World Safety Organization of the very famous course, Slip, Trips, and Falls. And also we did one course for a prototype for high school students for difficult lessons, like kids don't like to read about genetics. Today, our kids, they don't like to read. So if I give them a gadget they will enjoy and learn out of it, I think this will be the future. So I want to conclude this presentation that saying that VR is going to have a major part in education. It will assist and it will augment education. You can do the training in a less time, almost 1 quarter. It's very accessible nowadays. It can offer multiple solutions. It will empower the learner. He or she can repeat the course. And contrary to what I believe, it is at a lower cost. And it enhances healthcare delivery for sure through training and high competency. And evidence-based level 1 and 2 has shown that it has superiority. We did actually 3 research on that in Saudi Arabia, and the results are amazing. A majority of the learners, they think it is better than hands-on. And when we meet people, the first thing they will ask us, yeah, but hands-on still better. But for us in education, we want the outcome. When I train, or when we train somebody, we want this to be implemented at the patient care. Is this information still there after 6 months or 1 year? In virtual reality, retention rate is 75% higher, and exam results is 100% better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saud. It was really insightful.